What's happening, everybody? Welcome in. We are going to have some fun tonight. And we're going to be creating some remix glass, which is essentially a version of glass that has been wrecked up a little bit. What's up, Sandollar, Dragonfly, Bayo, how are you? This is your little feed. Sorry I couldn't make it last night. We had severe winds. Not too bad today. You'll see my flame flicker a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to be just fine. So we're going to start off with some of Bayo's roses here. We're going to remix that broken glass into some awesome stuff. So we're going to start with this one. This little guy right here. It definitely has seen better days. So first things first, we got to just kind of warm it up a little. Little loose flame out here. It may pop a little. This is a cool color too. Wrecked just a little bit, yeah. Your dog just got over enthusiastic. It's okay. What's up, Red Squeak? Philip, how you doing? Sorry I couldn't be on last night. Just way too much wind, and my power kept flickering on and off. Oh, that's okay. And there we go. That's part of the remix. It's actually kind of beautiful like that. Kind of has this little rosy section to it. So anyway, this is part of the remix where we upcycle, recycle, reuse broken glass. Okay, we should have enough there. We're going to take this and fuse this in as well. And let's grab a shorter rod to contend with here. There we go. So we're just going to butt it up right there. You had some thunderstorms? Yeah, it was like crazy weather. Did you get hit pretty bad, Red Squeak? It was windy here. I mean, really windy. All right, so again, this is the remix. So we're going to be taking this and remixing it into functional items. We got a few little flowers here. Well, they're not little, but we have a few flowers that we're going to be remixing into some amazing projects here. One of them will be another flower, but we're going to do it with a custom color here. So we're going to take this color, remix it into a blended color. And then we'll do one flower, and then we'll do some surprise stuff. And we just go like that. Just mixing it in. And there we go. I think we're going to need full flame tonight. There we go. For a little bit. This poor flower. It was so nice too. All right, so we're mixing it all up right now. We're going to grab the drill right away and start drill mixing this down. I may need a longer rod for this though. It may get a little hot. We'll find out pretty quick here. Let's grab a drill. We're just going to get the bulk of it hot. We're going to take it down a notch on the flame so I can control the focus point here. Here we go. We got that fully remixed here. There we go. Let's grab us a little shorty rod so we can pull this down into a usable rod, and we'll start with the next one. We'll start making that into something else while this is cooling down. So we're just going to pull this down into a usable rod, and then we'll start on the next remix here while this is cooling. This might actually be a really cool color. It's probably going to be one of those colors I look at and go, I wish I knew what it was. And we're just going to keep stretching. It's almost making a color that's made by North Star called multi. It almost looks like multi right now, meaning it'll have lots of little colors through it. Okay, we're going to separate it here. That should be plenty to work with. We're going to let this cool. So we're going to let this cool down, and we're going to go right into making a remix marble. You can see all the little scrap glass down here. Maybe you can't. I'm gonna bring it back here. All the broken stuff right here. I'm gonna take a little bit of that right there, a little broken. We're gonna mix it in if it doesn't fire off at me. There we go. So we're going to take a lot of this and just mix it in here. And then we're going to turn it into a cool freaking marble while we wait for the other one to cool off, and we'll make that into a flower. Okay, let's move this a little bit right there, and we want this off to the side. But we're going to take all these little petals and we're going to scrape them over. There we go. Move that out of the way. Okay, so we're going to start picking it up a little bit at a time here. A little bit at a time. We're going to pick all that broken glass up. It's going to get a little funny, cool looking too. We're going to get some funky, cool stuff. What's up, Sandollar? Colleen, how are you? Philip, what's up? Red Squeak, Dragonfly. And here we go. Isn't that just kind of cool looking? We'll start melting it in. Oh man, this stuff is fun. This is kind of fun. Taking all the broken bits and just fusing them together. You guys can see all that. We're just picking it all up. And we just keep going. We're just picking it all up here. We're going to try the new side cam look too here in a second. We're going to bring it over. Fortunately, TikTok is on the phone, so you guys don't get side cam, sorry. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Perfect. We're definitely going to need you. A little bit up there. Keep picking up little bits. We just keep adding it in a little bit at a time here. See if I can use the side cam and show you all what we have. Let's see if the side cam works good today. There we go. A little better. And for TikTok, there you go. Since y'all don't have side cam. There's the one I want, right there. I only got a little bit left to pick up here. And there we go. Take it down a notch. Fold it over a little. Fold it over. We're going to separate this one. It's a little too short to handle at the moment, because we are going to be kicking up the heat quite a bit. And hopefully, yeah, you'll actually work. And here we go. So this has multiple chunks running all over the place. So it's kind of like a patchwork, which should look pretty amazing. You got it, Scott. My pleasure. Oh, this is actually looking kind of cool. It's got some cool pattern to it, I can tell you that. It's definitely a one-off. All right, let's start getting it shaped out a little bit. Okay, we're going to break it down just a tiny bit. There we go. And now you guys can see we got a little bit of a floppy bobble. Floppy bobble. I don't know if that's the right word. Darren, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. And thank you for the subscriptions. No, I'm not Guy Fieri's dad. He is actually older than me. You guys don't even know he's close to 60. Not by much, though. I'm close there, too. But I say we both look good for almost close to 60. Getting there. What's up, John? How you doing? All right, so we're rounding this guy out. Okay, let's see if the side cam is working. There we go. Bring it out here. You guys can all see that now. We got some really nice patterns running in here. You ordered a hummingbird? Awesome. You'll be very happy. They look good. All the hummingbirds came out fantastic. Well, I should take that back. There are 2 hummingbirds I had that I didn't like. I'm either going to remix it or toss them. I haven't decided yet. They're not quite perfect. They're not terrible, but they're not quite perfect. And TikTok kicked me off again. Unbelievable. Okay, there we go. I think TikTok hates me now. They just booted me off. No warning. We'll try it again. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to start rounding this out. Get rid of that egg shape. Do they red squeak? I was wondering. Let's see if I can multitask right now. I'm going to try it again. There we go. Multitasking. How could someone get started with working with glass? A couple different methods. You obviously want to get your equipment. Before you do any of that, though, I recommend you get into like a glass experience. Like, it's about a 2.5 hour adventure. And you just go and you work with the glass. You'll end up making like a mushroom or something. Find out if you like being this close to fire. And if you do, then you want to start pursuing getting equipment. And then from there, it's just a lot of practice. But you kind of have to decide if you want to go what's called soft glass or borosilicate. This is borosilicate, commonly known as Pyrex. And that is a big decision you have to make. You can't bounce between the two very easily. Kind of have to pick a lane for a while. Then once you get experience, you can do both. We are looking really good here, Bayo. It is looking fantastic. Let's get a little bit more of a hybrid blend here. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Bring it out to the side view. What's up, Wendy? How are you? Oh, side view. You can definitely see those swirls kind of evolving in there now. So we took broken flowers and we just turned it into this marble. So we're kind of recycling glass. What makes them two different types? The melting temperature. So they both melt differently and they both act differently in the flame. Soft glass, or what I call soft glass, is commonly used in Murano. And this is more of the scientific type glass. That's why I always refer to it as Pyrex, even though I very rarely use Pyrex. All right, we just got to round this one out. And we get rid of this little bump in the middle. And here we go. We're going to get rid of that. There we are. A little bit of refinement. Just a little bit. Thank you very much, Janae. So if you are currently watching on TikTok, don't forget to follow my other account, The Fiery Guy, on TikTok, because if this bounces me off again, I'm going to switch over to that one. All right, this looks fantastic. Magnificent. I almost said magnifico, but no. We're not going to do that. All right, let's bring it into the side so you guys can see kind of what we have going on. You can definitely see some of those colors bouncing around. Looks really cool, actually. Then we got to get Dragonfly Creations marble holders here. We're going to come in and just kind of let it sit for a second. We don't want to squish it down right now because it is still molten. You can definitely see that shimmer in there though. See it kind of shimmer? Okay, and then you just tap, off it comes. Leaves just a little tiny puntile mark right there, little punty mark. Then we blend it in. Then we're going to let it sit for a second before we pop it in the oven or the kiln. And we're going to let it meld just for a second here so it doesn't roll on the hot spot and create a problem. But I'll show a little bit here, a little bit there. It definitely has some cool colors to it. There we go. All right, that is number one done. Then we're going to go into making the actual flower out of the remixed glass here. Going to cut this off a little. Don't need all this. Actually, you know what? We're going to use that as the full stem. We're going to set that off to the side, grab us a nice little smaller rod here. I am just looking for the perfect one. Nope, too short. And if I don't find it, I'll make it. Well, we're gonna have to make it. We'll just pull it off of this. So now we're gonna go right into a flower with the remix. And here we go. Ooh, I don't know if you guys can see that color. I'm gonna have to pull it off to the side. So this is striking. I didn't think it was gonna do that. Kind of see it changing color right there, right at the tip. That's not burnt, that's just the color. And here we go. A little squishy there. We're going to make that taco piece right in the center. So about every third or fourth petal, I will bring it over and show you where we're at. So about every third or fourth petal, I'll bring it over and give you guys a look at what we're forming here. And this is the remix. So we have taken broken glass and we're remixing it into functional art. Things that can be used down the road. That's what I'm looking for. And here we go. Yeah, this is going to be outstanding. This one's going to be outstanding. I can already tell this flower is going to be amazing. I'm only 2 petals into it and I can already tell. So yeah, we are definitely taking broken glass and making it into something functional. Or at least usable. The display. This used to be a rose. We turned it back into a glass rod, and now we're taking it back and turning it back into a flower. And it's looking good. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask. I will try to answer them as much as I can. So if you have any questions, don't forget to ask. What would make the color do that? That would be silver, pure silver. Oh, I forgot to show you the petal. Hold on. Let me get 2 more petals after this one on. We'll show you. I forgot. I was sitting there yapping. Making these is kind of like riding a bike. I'm not having a hard time at all. So I could pay attention a little more to chat. What's up, Fidel? How you doing, my friend? Donna, how are you? Nope, I did not forget about you, Donna. You should have had a response via email. Check your check your email, but yes, I have done diamond painting pens before. I still have parts to make them. In fact, I don't know, for people that have been with me for a long time, remember the calligraphy pens? I found them too. So we definitely have some calligraphy pens too. We're going to pop this guy on and pull it up. This is one of my no stress items. I don't have to think about it. I can yap, talk. This is like so many repetitive patterns of doing this I never forget. All right, side view for all my tubers. And here we go. We're going to bring it out. Now you can see we got some cool colors bouncing through there. It's going to look even better. Bring it right up. Yeah, it's definitely got a focus problem still. Oh well. 32 years for me. This is year number 32. I've been doing this for 32. I learned from my mother, who started in 1972. And then I picked it up from her. My first experience with a flame and glass was about age 7. But I wasn't really making anything. I was just kind of getting used to the flame. I didn't take this very seriously till I was 22. No, not hot in the hands at all. The glass does not transfer any heat at all. It's a good insulator, horrible conductor. Yeah, glass does not transfer heat, but where it's hot, it stays hot for a very, very long time. It is very unforgiving for that. Thank you for the sprinkles. What's up, Chris? How are you? What's going on? Have I ever met Guy? No. I have not met Guy. I wouldn't mind it though. I'll trade lessons with him. I'd love a cooking lesson. I'll give him a glassblowing lesson. We'll see who could handle the most heat. I bet you it'd be me. So if you're watching, Guy, challenge. Who can handle the most heat? Bring it on. Okay, here we go. Back into the little view here so you guys can see where we're at so far. So we're getting that flower shape going. It's actually pretty cool. I like this color. So this was all broken and shattered. If you go back to the beginning of the video, you'll see that this was all broken glass. And we are essentially recycling it. Beo's dog got a little bit excited and decided to create its own art, which is normal. That was the other thing yesterday. Poor Fritzy, my dog. Yeah, he got injured at doggy daycare, so he's a little down right now. He's okay, but he's a little bummed. There we go. So we're just adding one petal at a time, and then you use this tool here, the carbon tool, to kind of carve it in. It's not very difficult. You just have to get used to it. What other elements can be added into glass to make cool colors? Well, you got silver, you got gold, you got germanium, you got cobalt, chromium, selenium, germanium, uranium. One of my favorites is uranium. Those are some metals that you can add into the glass. Then you can create the secret sauce and make a glow-in-the-dark glass, like I did. All right, so we're just gonna, always gotta keep this thing warmed up out in the flame. You don't wanna let it cool down too much or it will get thermal shocked, and then you got a problem. And as you can see, we bring it out here. We now have some really cool colors bouncing and transitioning through. I'll shine a flashlight on it right after this next set of petals, and you can see where we're at. And we just need to add at least minimum of 3 petals. We might go 6 more. We'll see how it starts to form up and look. Drippy, drippy. There we go. You sell those petals? What do you mean, do I sell the petals? I sell the roses, the flowers, but this one's a remix. So this was all broken glass that we're remixing into another one for a member on the tube. So she had gotten some roses from me and they got broken. So we're remixing them into other items. And it's looking very cool. Actually, I think these might even be better than the original. Is soft glass suitable for making hummingbirds? Yeah, actually it is. You just have to be careful with it, but soft glass is fully usable for that. Yeah, soft glass is completely usable. You just have to approach it in a little bit different way. But yes, you can make really cool stuff with it. All right, it definitely needs 3 more petals. It's not quite there yet. I appreciate the sub, Dusting. Yeah, sometimes I miss some questions occasionally. You can keep asking. I don't get offended by that. Yeah, they were definitely broken. I'll show you an example of the broken ones. All right, let's see the lighting on this. I'll try and leave this out here, and there we go. Now you can see the colors bouncing through. Totally cool color combo. And we're going to do at least 3 more here. I think 3 more and this will be done. Oh, that wind feels good. Cool me down. And we got a little overzealous there. Take this and flatten it out. Carve that petal in. And we'll see where we're at. Yeah, I think we're actually going to be okay here. Nope, right there. One more. It's got a big blank spot here I need to fix. And that looks good. Got a little wild on me. Gotta cut it. And there we go. I'm gonna warm this up a little. So now you guys can see the hot effect of it. And there's the back end, front end. Come up here and melt this in. Blend that right there. There we go. And I think it's going to look good with a green stem from the original glass. It has a nice curve to it, actually. Yeah, I think that whole stem goes together with that really well. And there we are. So there is remix number one. We got some cool colors coming out of it. Bring it out here, and there we go. Now you can see all the cool colors bouncing through. Definitely has some really nice transitions through it. Park that one in the kiln. That came out way better than I thought. What's up, Sterling? How you doing? Welcome to the Sparks. Sorry. Allergies are killing me this year. I don't recommend allergies. They are not fun. So this is another version of what we're going to be. So this one was totally destroyed too. So we're going to take this guy and turn it into something amazing. I'll park it right there. Y'all ready? And here we go. Y'all ready? We'll heat it up and I'll show you what it looks like from the broken end of it. So there it is, all broken down. Almost looks like a rosebud, right? It's getting close to one, but it's not. And there is rose number 2, all broken apart. And we're going to bring it in and we're going to smush it. This one's going to look kind of cool too. I'm excited about it. The cardinal, the same size as the rose? No, cardinal's about 3.5 inches large, big, like that. It's not super big. And here we go. What happened to number 2? Went in the kiln. I'm pretty quick. That's what she said. That's exactly right. I was going to make a comment, but I didn't. Kind of looks like a pineapple now. Kind of has that pineapple look. So this side has like an amber purple color and then a really cool green color on the other side. We're going to blend them together half and half. May do some silver and gold fuming depending on how it looks, and see what we get from it. All right, so you can see we're getting it all kind of blended up now. It's looking good. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, so we are using scrap glass, not scrap, but broken glass. Glass that was previously made by me, got broken, and we're reshaping it into some cool stuff. Fritz is okay. He's a little sore. He did a good number on himself. He's a little sore. I appreciate the sub and have a good evening. Thank you for hanging out as much as you can. Thank you for the follow. He went to doggy daycare and got a little, he became Fritz and just got a little rambunctious and hurt himself. He's got a big gash under his armpit and the front leg. So he's a little wounded. So you won't hear him tonight. He's like down. Mom's doing okay. Fritz got a little rambunctious at doggy daycare. Got a big air pocket here we got to get out. There we go. Okay, we're going to trim this down a little bit, get it smoothed out a tiny bit. Like that. So yeah, on top of losing power intermittently, I had Fritz down. Okay, we're going to let it drip a little bit. And there we go. Welcome in, everybody. We are taking broken glass and we are remixing it into, this will be another marble, but this is going to be a very, very cool marble. It's definitely going to have some character to it. This used to be 2 broken roses, and we're now transforming it into a marble, which will be pretty much unbreakable. It'd be very hard to break this marble. Really hard. Okay, we got to blend this, and then we're going to add some gold and silver to it. And when I say add gold and silver, it is exactly that. We use pure gold and pure silver to add color to the glass. Yeah, the storm wasn't good. We had high winds, and I live out in the boonies a little bit. So I have lots of trees, and the trees tend to knock down power lines. Would you be able to see what I see? Sure, for a second here, while I got this kind of bobbled out. We'll bring this out, and there we go. I'm going to have to do this a little bit goofy here. I got to balance between 3 separate camera angles here. That's what I see. All right, so we got this bicone shape, and then we're going to add some gold and silver to it. No, that was yesterday. I live in the Pacific Northwest where Bigfoot does. I think Bigfoot had something to do with it. All right, so there's a little tiny chunk of gold on here. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like before we add anything to it. So you can see right there, just a little bit of color. It's about to get very, very shiny. We're going to take our little gold nugget and we're going to vaporize that gold onto half of this. Like that. There we go. And now you guys can see some of that color kind of bouncing through there. We'll use the flashlight so you can definitely see the transition here. You can see it's kind of shiny, and that's what the gold does. We're going to trap that gold with some clear glass. Warm the whole thing up. Get a nice little splatter pattern on there. So it creates this just kind of random splatter pattern on there. It's going to be the wild child. So now we're going to break it down. What's up, Coops Granny? How you doing? We're going to break it down and start shaping half of this marble. Then we're going to go to the other side, add silver, and do the same thing. Yeah, we're just bringing it down. We're going to melt this down right now. You get to see the cool part in the mold. So this mold right here is made of graphite or carbon, pencil lead, for those of you that are curious about that. High density pencil lead. And right now I'm just kind of letting gravity do all my work for me. I just have to keep it moving or it becomes floppy. So you just keep it moving and gravity just constantly pulls it down, shrinks it all for you. And we're going to start going into the part of the mold. Then we'll go into the smaller one. And yet smaller again. Get that spinning around, then we flip it to the other side and make the other side round with silver added to it this time, not gold. But I get asked a lot, can you recycle the glass? Yes, you can. Just like I'm doing now. There's a couple different methods to do it. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, Fritz is okay. He's just a little wounded in the pride area. His pride's a little wounded. I'd say that's about the worst. Totally Fritz's own fault. Okay, now we're going to separate this section. Then we're going to add the silver. So out of those broken flowers, we got 2 marbles and a cool looking flower back out of it. Okay, we're going to let it droopy right here. I just need it to meld a little bit closer in. Then we'll add the silver and do the same kind of spiral onto it. May need a little help from my tool right here. There we go. So now we got that shape. We're going to grab some silver, throw that on, and spin it up. And there's my silver. Got to loosen this flame up just a little bit. There we go. Had to squeeze that silver out a little bit. There we go. I think that silver is just about done now. Then we're going to wrap it around with some clear and trap all that silver same way. It didn't get as goofy as it went too perfect, but that's okay. So you can see the spiral stripes on there, just a little too even, but we'll fix that up. Yeah, the silver's like that. It's magic. Then we just melt it all in. Same exact way. Here we go. A little bit more flame. Kick on some heat. I think it's looking good. We'll take it down a notch. Then we just start rounding it out. A little bit at a time. And so far, so good. We are going to have to transfer it back to the other side. It's a little off balance down here. Sterling, thank you so much for the membership. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, here we go. We're going to start rounding it up. All right, one more transfer back to the other side and we'll get this round. Right now it's in an egg shape, kind of. You'll be okay. Then we're going to bring it down, tap. We're not fusing it though, just a tap. You don't want it fused on there, you just want it stuck. You ever get gum stuck on your fingers? Same way. Just kind of stuck, not fused in. I don't know why I used that reference, but was the closest thing I could think of. I don't know why I use that term. Not the best. What's up, L to the B? Thank you for the lightning bolt, Philip. Philip, thank you for the chili. And now we're going to round it up. And we're just going to keep rounding it up. Get rid of that egg shape. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's got a little pointy hat to it. I don't like it. Got to smooth it out. In order to get it completely round, you keep going smaller and smaller and smaller on the molds down here. So little half circles, you get down smaller and smaller and smaller, it gets it more and more round. Basically, it's just forcing the hot glass into the gaps. Where it's high, it forces it into a low spot and then creates that nice round section there. And then it spins around so freely right there. This is actually really cool looking too. I'll bring it over before we detach it. Let me go to side view here. And we'll try and get some light on it. So you can see kind of the colors bouncing through there. And it's only going to get better and better. The longer it sits in the kiln, the more colors are going to bounce through it. You just take it like that, and to get it off, tap, off it comes. I like it. It looks good. It's sitting there pretty well. Yeah, it actually looks really cool. Has two different angles to it. That side's really purpley. Okay, I don't really have a lot of color up here, so we're going to do it something out of clear and then maybe fume it. Let's go for it. Let me just get prepped up here with what I want. I haven't done one of these in a long time, so give me a few seconds here. I don't have the right size rod I want in a perfect size, so we're gonna have to make it. We're gonna cut this guy down. All right, so we're gonna make something that I haven't made in probably a year and a half. I'll spill the beans here in about 5 minutes. But we're gonna do it out of clear, and then we'll come back and I'll tell you what we're doing. Let me get started on it though. All right, let's go. A little more heat. What's up, Creative? How are you? All right, here we go. All right, we're going to bunch up this middle a little bit. A little bit more. All right. That's kind of where I want to be. Come on, get a little chunkier. All right, we're good. All right, so this is where we're at shape-wise at the moment. So now we got little ridges in there. I got to bring it into the camera. Put little ridges all in the inside there. All right, so there's where we're at so far. I'll try and bring it in a little bit further out. Got little humpy back whale fins on it. Bring this in and just kind of trim that up a little there. Trim that up there. Okay, we're getting close here. So we're getting some shaping on the head here. So we're getting close to it. Okay, a little bit more. Got to keep this warmed up. I'm going to turn it to the side view. I got to give you guys a little closer look here. There. So we got a little bit of the action going right there. All right, last little bit up in the top portion here. Oh, sorry, I was on side view for that whole time. So sorry about that. So you can kind of see we got the detail going in here. So we got this little guy going like that. Let's change back to normal view. Bring this guy down. I got to move pretty quick on this portion. And we're just going to add this other back leg. We just have to warm it up and I'll show you a little bit of it. What's up, Christy? How you doing? What's up, Andrew? So yeah, if you haven't guessed, we're making a kind of little cartoon dragon. So we're making a little bit of a cartoon dragon. Not like a serious dragon. So there we are. We're getting him all situated here. Let's make it a true dragon and add some wings to it. There we are. We got one wing on. Now we need to add a second wing. Warm it back up. And then you can start to see the wings all taking shape right there. This little guy, man, that's trying to get this camera angle sucks between everybody. I got to balance these camera angles out. Okay, and there is that version, and then I'll bring it out here so you guys can see. I haven't done one of these in a very, very long time. Park it in the kiln for a moment. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. We might fume it. I'm thinking about fuming it with gold, so let's let it heat up for a second. We may throw some gold on there and see what it does. But before we do that, we should probably grab some silver. We'll throw silver on it first. Give it a full dragon treatment. Yeah, we're going to give them a full dragon treatment here in a second. Just got to let it heat up for a second. It is kind of like a puff. It is very close to puff, but not enough to get sued. Okay, we got our silver. Once I get some color on here, he'll definitely come out. The color will definitely start to evolve. Okay, so we got silver on there. Oh, there we go. Now you can see the coloring starting to come out. I'll show one version there and out here. So now we got the wings all centered out. We're going to do the gold. This is where it'll definitely come into life. Yep, there goes my gold. I'll have to find my gold in a little bit. There you go. There you guys go. Now you can see the coloring a little bit better. Bring it out here. There you can see that. And there is the golden dragon. Let it heat back up and I can pull that little holding rod off the foot. And I'll find my gold in a little bit. I have no idea where it went, but I'll find it. Yeah, I haven't done that in a long time. Let me see if I can, no, I won't be able to do that right now. Let it heat up just a little bit and then we'll pull it off. Pull its foot off. Sits perfect. There's a little bit of silver on the front. And that's all she wrote for that one. That definitely has to get in the kiln pretty fast. Oh, I hate gold hunting when it falls. That sucks. That's okay. Park the silver in the kiln. All right, last night we made a latticino out of uranium and I think uranium and black and caramel. We're gonna actually twist that all up into a marble and give it a really unique pattern. The kiln will temper the glass so it stops it from cracking. It keeps it all even at about 1100 degrees Fahrenheit. And then it allows it to cool down at the same pace. Okay, so we got this latticino running here. It's uranium and I think black and caramel. So then we just take it and we start rolling it onto each other. And it's going to kind of create like a tiger stripe. Almost like a Bengal tiger. But it'll be in the form of a marble. It's just going to create a really unique pattern in here. And if I do it correct, it should have, like I said, a Bengal, kind of like a Bengal tiger look. Which is ultimately what I want. And there we go. Pull that little bit off. It'll be a small marble, but they don't have to be really big to be cool. In fact, 3 of my favorite marbles are about 1 inch. I'll try and bring this out so you guys can see the pattern while it's hot. If you let it, you can kind of see it when it goes into its cooling pattern, then it disappears. And this is uranium, so it's going to glow super bright under black light. Yeah, it has a cool pattern to it. I don't know if y'all will be able to see it, but I'm going to try and let it transition a little bit so you can get a good look at it. It's going to be very brief. And there we go. We got a really neat looking pattern to it. I'm so happy with this. Came out good. And then we're going to do this side right here. So I'm debating on later this month doing a larger dragon. But that one is different. When we do the bigger ones, you have to build all the parts separate, the wings, the feet. You have to build everything separate. And then we assemble it when all done. When you have all the parts. Kind of like I did the crab. You kind of have to build everything separately, and then you can go in and assemble it all. Once you have the body built, then you start assembling the legs, the wings, the head. But we can build a much bigger one that way. We'll do, that one will be more like a medieval dragon. Kind of like a Game of Thrones dragon. What's up, Daisy Girl? Charlie, how are you? Appreciate everybody. Christy, good to see you. Yeah, this is very cool. Then we're going to do the other side. Look where I need to finish it up at. Okay, one more time in the small mold. Nope, little wobble right there. Little wobble bobble. Show you guys there. I'm going to try and put it on the side cam one more time. I'm going to try and get this thing to work later. Maybe if I cover it up, the flame up a little, you guys can see it here too. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely focused on the flame. I'll have to adjust that camera later. I thought I had it adjusted by moving it closer, but I guess I didn't. We're going to let it sit there for a second. Okay. Let it cool. Let's see here. We're going to do something, probably not the smartest thing in the world, but we're going to do it anyway. Nope. Yep. All right, we're going to make the smallest hummingbird possible. I don't know what I'm going to use it on, but we're going to do an itty bitty 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 hummingbird. We'll put it in something. We'll put it in something. We're going to use a very, very small micro flame though. Probably should have brought my glasses for this one, but hey. I'll try and bring it into the camera as close as I can. It's going to have a hell of a time focusing. Yeah. There's TikTok, and I think it's going to be really hard to see that little guy right there. Bring it out one more time. There we go. Little baby bird. I'll put it in a little tiny sculpture of somehow. And I would say that'll fit inside a nickel probably. But I want to build a little hummingbird nest inside an ornament. So I want to do a Christmas ornament, put a little hummingbird nest in there, and then put it inside the ornament. It's kind of what I'm thinking about down the road. So making an ornament and yeah, a little hummingbird sculpture nest in there. I thought that would be kind of cool. Anyway, give me a little bit. I think I am going to come back a little bit tonight and live stream for a little bit longer. But I need to take a break. It's been 2 hours and I need to stretch my legs. But I think I am going to come back tonight. So I will see you all in just a little bit, hopefully. All right, off there on TikTok. Yeah. It'll be cute. It definitely will be cool. I'll see y'all in a little bit.